So did y'all see the new Batman trailer? Did y'all love the new Batman trailer? Are y'all excited about the new Batman movie? Are y'all interested in hearing me calling out this trailer, this movie, and all you hypocritical bullshit fake geek culture fanboys? No? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where do I get off making such outlandish and outrageous bullshit claims? Oh, okay, let's see, where to start, Okay, I know, okay. Well, we'll start off with how this movie, okay, is inspired, okay, by Batman Year One and inspired by Batman The Long Halloween. And here's the best part. I would actually have to explain to you what the story arc is in Batman Year One and what the story arc is in Batman The Long Halloween to explain how full of shit it is, because none of you have ever actually read Batman Year One, and maybe 1 or 2% of you have ever read, Batman The Long Halloween. At best, okay, maybe 20, 25% of you know the reference, okay? But that's the beauty of it. This movie is literally piggybacking off of the name recognition of Batman Year One and The Long Halloween to try to pretend to give some type of comic book cred to this movie. And at the same time, you got all your fake geek culture fanboys, okay, pretending to have comic book cred by knowing the reference. But and again, they could have nothing to do with Batman Year One and nothing to do with The Long Halloween, and you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know, because that would have required you actually reading the comic books. And The Long Halloween, it's like 13 issues. You guys wouldn't read one comic. You guys haven't read one comic book. You're going to read Batman Year One. That's 4 comic books. The Long Halloween is, 12 or 13 issues. Okay, well, I'll be generous. I'll say 12 issues. You haven't read one comic book. You're not going to read 13. So, no, guaranteed, maybe 99% of you have never even read The Long Halloween to even know what part of The Long Halloween or Batman Year One it was inspired by. I'll explain it to you. In Batman Year One, it was inspired by the fact that it's an origin story. That's it. You might as well have said this movie was inspired by Detective Comics 27. Oh, by the way, Detective Comics 27 is Batman's first appearance. Believe me, I know I have to explain that to you, okay? This movie could just as easily have said inspired by Batman, Detective Comics issue 27, okay? Because that's all it's inspired by. It's not inspired by the story arc in which, Commissioner Gordon and the Gotham City Police Department are trying to capture this vigilante in a giant bat suit. Why would that be part of the story arc? You're not inspired by that part. Were you inspired by the fact that Selina Kyle is a prostitute in Batman Year One? No. We're just inspired by the fact that Catwoman is in the issue. Wait, are you inspired by the fact that Commissioner Gordon was having an affair with his wife? No, of course not. Why would you do that? Here's another one. It was, again, because the only thing it was inspired by was the fact that it's an origin story, to like pretend it has some kind of comic book cred. Why didn't the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman say inspired by Batman Year One? Why didn't Nolan Ryan's Batman Begins? Why didn't they go how Batman Begins was inspired by Year One? Because they didn't have to rely on an attempt of piggybacking off of the name recognition of these two series, okay, to try to pretend it has any comic book cred what's the word I'm looking for? To pander to all you fake geek culture comic book fanboys who are pretending to know what the hell they're talking about. And then we have the Long Halloween, okay? The only thing that they were inspired by the Long Halloween was the serial killer storyline. That's it. They're even changing how the serial killer works. Okay? Because it's the Riddler. Like if you were gonna actually pretend to be inspired, okay, by the Long Halloween, wouldn't they have at least have had, Two-Face be the main protagonist? Like what did they do? Put up a dartboard, put a whole bunch of pictures of Batman's various super villains, throw a dart and go, oh, look, it landed on the Riddler. I guess we're going to make the Riddler the protagonist of this movie. How do we crowbar the Riddler into this serial killer storyline? Because they just took let's say Batman issue 400, okay, had a serial killer storyline. This movie was inspired as much by that Batman issue 400 as it was by the Long Halloween. If there's no way that they're going to incorporate the complex and intricate story arc of Two-Face's wife actually being the main killer in the first place. Spoilers alert, I guess. They're not going to incorporate any of that shit. But then again, how would you guys know? You've never read a goddamn comic book in your fucking life. Oh, Christ. Hence, the fake, bullshit, empty geek culture fan base. That good enough for you yet? Oh, but we got to talk about the Batmobile, okay? The Batmobile in this movie. Are you kidding me? Now, here's the thing about the Batmobile in the Batman movies. The Batmobile is just as iconic as the Batman suits, okay? Whether it be Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, you all talked about the bat suits. And you all talked about the various Batmobiles, but for some reason in this new Batman movie, no one's really talking about the Batmobile. All of you who love this movie, I love how you're all conveniently not really talking about the Batmobile, because if you did, you'd have to admit what a piece of shit this is. This is the Batmobile in the new movie. Okay? Now, here's how I can establish your hypocritical bullshit artist, fake geek culture fanboys, okay? Let's say the CW Batwoman TV show, okay? They were going to advertise or promote the fact that there was going to be a Batman cameo. They weren't going to say which episode, so you had to tune in, but there was going to be a Batman cameo in an upcoming Batwoman episode. So we have this one episode where Batwoman is on the street and she's surrounded by a bunch of thugs or criminals or whatever, and they're all about to swarm her, okay? And then suddenly down the street, this vehicle comes storming down the street. What would you guys say? Would you go, oh, look, that's the Batmobile? No, you'd be going, what the hell? Who's that? Like, who's this? Like, who's driving? Whose car is this? Who's driving this car? And God forbid, in that episode, that Batmobile were to stop and Batman were to walk out of that vehicle. All of you would have gone, what the hell? That's supposed to be the Batman? That's supposed to be the Batmobile? Not only would you guys trash how pathetic and useless that Batmobile is, you would trash and ridicule the Batwoman TV show, and you would trash and ridicule CW for putting in such a zero, low effort, nothing bullshit Batmobile. But for some reason, that same bullshit, nothing Batmobile appears in this movie, and none of you are saying anything. Apparently, it's okay when it's in this movie, but if that same bullshit Batmobile was in a CW Batwoman episode, you would trash the shit out of it. But you don't want to trash it because then you'd have to admit this is a bullshit Batman movie. This is a different Batman movie because this is an inexperienced, angrier Batman who hasn't controlled himself yet. An inexperienced Batman. Okay? In the 1989 Batman movie, okay, the Michael Keaton Batman movie, it's literally the first appearance of Batman. It's Michael Keaton, it's Bruce Wayne donning the Batman outfit for the goddamn first time, making him, wait for it, an inexperienced Batman. In the Nolan Batman, Batman Begins, it's literally seeing Christian Bale's Batman from goddamn day one, thus making him, wait for it again, an inexperienced Batman for the first time. So having this bullshit nothing claim that Pattinson's Batman is an inexperienced Batman, it's been done already. The inexperienced Batman's already happening. But because none of you know anything about Batman Year One or anything about logic and time progression or reality, you're going, because it's based off of Year One, it's an inexperienced Batman. They've all been inexperienced Batmans, you morons. What the hell are you talking about? They've all been inexperienced Batmans. It's not like the 1989 Batman was Batman 5 years into his career. It's not like Batman Begins was Christian Bale playing Batman 5 years into being Batman. They were both on day one. So what's left? What's left? An angrier Batman. That's it. The only hook you have about this new about Pattinson's Batman is he's what, 60% angrier than the other two Batmans? That's it. Sorry, that's your only hook. And here's how full of shit and empty that claim is. Because I'm not going to actually I'm not going to bring up the Michael Keaton Batman because let's be honest, the majority of you have never actually seen it, so it's not really worth doing it. But it still applies. So for those of you who loved Christian Bale's Batman, okay, did you all look at Christian Bale's Batman and go, you know what? I really love Christian Bale's interpretation of Batman, but you know what's missing? He's just not angry enough. For those of you who loved, oh God, I hate that guy. I keep forgetting his name. Ben Affleck. For those of you who loved Ben Affleck's Batman, did you go, you know what? I really love Ben Affleck's Batman, but you know what's missing? He's just not angry enough. No. So then why is it that when Pattinson comes up and goes, oh, wow, he's angrier. God, if only Christian Bale's Batman was angrier. That's what we've been missing all this time. If only Ben Affleck's Batman was angrier. That's what we've been missing all this time. Or let's take the reverse. You didn't like Christian Bale's Batman because you know what? He just wasn't angry enough. Thank God for Pattinson's Batman because now you got the Batman you've always wanted. Do you understand how empty and vapid and useless your claims of what you love about this trailer and love about this new Batman and love about this new Batman movie? Do you understand how empty and useless they are when you spend 10 seconds thinking about it? But he's gonna be a detective in this one. He's going back to his detective roots. First of all, none of you cared that Christian Bale's Batman wasn't a detective. None of you cared that Ben Affleck's Batman wasn't a detective. Now all of a sudden you give a shit that he's a detective? And detective what? In the 1989 Batman movie, okay? The only detectiving okay, that Batman did was he was able to discover that that certain various products, when mixed together, was what caused the Joker effect, right? And that's what was killing people. That was the extent of his detective work, okay? Now, if they had just that clip in the 1989 Batman trailer, you guys would have gone, oh, look, he's a detective. They're showing a clip of him being a detective and figuring out how Joker, is doing what he was doing. Except that was it. That little clip was it in the entire movie. Well, guess what? That scene with Bruce Wayne or Batman in the Batcave with all the stuff around, that could very easily be the only detectiving clip in the entire movie. But no, because you saw that one clip, you actually have this delusion that the whole movie is going to be him, or part of the movie is going to be him trying to figure it out. Bullshit! Look at the second trailer. Okay, it's an action-oriented movie. Now, the first trailer, okay, now, and to be honest, I didn't even like the first trailer, but now I miss the first trailer. Because at least with the first trailer, it got a 7 vibe. It got the idea, the impression that it was going to be him trying to discover and be a detective and try to figure things out. But after the second trailer, it's like, no, it's just another Batman movie. Okay? There's going to be about as much, I'm calling it right now, okay? There's going to be about as much detective work, okay, in this Batman movie as there was in any other Batman movie. Because guess what? The DC, Warner Brothers knows that none of you want to see a detective Batman. You don't want to see. You want hints. You want references. But you don't want to see a detective Batman. You want to see a kick-ass Batman. You want to know how I know? When you saw the scene of Batman walking down the hallway and you had all those thugs or whatever shooting him and shooting him, and they were all bouncing off. That was what you were excited about. That's the Batman you want. The Batman kicking ass. You don't want a detective Batman. Okay? So don't give me this bullshit that, oh, now he's going to be a detective. You break. What else? Oh, yeah, and then it's like, I love, again, here's another aspect. You love pumping up and talking about all the great things that you love about it, but for some reason you conveniently ignore the parts that actually establish that this is going to be a mediocre, if not less than, Batman movie. Because you're not talking about how full of shit the Batmobile is, and this clip. I love how you are all downplaying and minimizing this clip. I hate to break, because since it's just one part of the entire trailer, you get to kind of, ignore it. Except here's the problem, boys and girls. That's the Batman you're going to have throughout the movie. He's going to have more than one line in the entire movie. He's going to be talking throughout the movie. This Batman, okay, is the Batman you are going to have throughout the movie. It's going to be kind of hard, okay, minimizing and downplaying it. I love this movie. I loved it. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a lousy Batman movie, okay? I'm just saying it's going to just be another Batman movie. It's going to be another origin story Batman movie, because guess what they're doing? It's another reboot. Reboots. Remember reboots? Oh God. Oh, you know what the problem is with Hollywood nowadays? They keep rebooting. They keep rebooting the same franchises over and over again. Oh yeah, I hate how they keep rebooting movies. Hey, did you hear that they're rebooting Batman? Yay! How is it okay to reboot Batman every 10 years? Because that's what they've been doing. Around 10 years, like 10, 15 years. Every decade or so, they reboot Batman. They could reboot Batman from now until eternity, and you guys will still watch it because it's Batman. Anyway, there's other stuff I could have talked about in the trailer, but it's not really that important. I got the big things. I got the big stuff out of my system. I'm good now. I'm fine. And again, this video isn't about me saying that the upcoming Batman movie is going to be trash. Okay, I'm going to wait until the movie comes out to make that video. It's me trying to stop. It's just that somebody has to explain and call out the fake, empty, vapid, pretend geek culture aspect of this trailer, of this upcoming Batman movie, and all you empty, vapid, fake geek culture fanboys. Because ain't nobody else gonna do it, because believe me, there ain't no views in it. But I do this for you. I'm here for you. It's just the kind of guy I am. Anyway, I know you're all gonna watch the Batman movie, and guaranteed you're all gonna love it anyway. But that's it for me, guys. I'm out of here. See ya.